Hello there. In this video, we'll be reacting to What If Anakin Skywalker Went to Utapau to Fight General Grievous. This Star Wars What If is made by the Star Wars Galaxy, so make sure to subscribe to him. A link to his channel and link to the original video down below in the description of this video. He makes some awesome What Ifs, and we do react to a lot of them, almost all of them. They're just really good Star Wars What Ifs. And remember to subscribe to me as well. I appreciate it very much, and let's get into the reaction.
What if Anakin went to Utapau without telling the Jedi Council in Revenge of the Sith?
Okay.
That's our story for today. Hope you guys enjoy.
Without telling the
just
Jedi Council.
Question of the day for the comments. What's your favorite Star Wars video game of all time? I've been getting
Favorite stars? Ooh, bro, that's a good question. Listen, Star Wars Battlefront 2 2017, as much as it's very flawed, I really like the game. I love it. But, you know, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original one, or, like, Lego Star Wars, the complete saga, I know that, you know, I know that's a very, I don't know. Guys, good question. What's your favorite Star Wars game? Comment down below.
Getting back into games a bit, so just wondering what you guys think your favorite Star Wars game is. Let me know in the comments, just for some fun, and let's get right into it. Our story begins on Coruscant, as Anakin is meeting Chancellor Palpatine for a show in the Opera House. Over the last couple days, Anakin has returned from the Outer Rim sieges, gone through horrific nightmares of Padme dying, and was denied the rank of Master anymore. But tonight, as a spy for Palpatine and as a spy for the Jedi Council, Palpatine gave him new information. The location of the droid General Grievous. He was hidden away on Utapau.
Oh, shit.
Upon hearing this, Palpatine told Anakin that he hopes the Jedi...
See, this is gonna change so much. Because, first of all, he's doing this without the Council approving of it. And Palpatine doesn't want... Obviously, Palpatine wants Anakin to be in Coruscant, to turn him to the dark side. Plus, he doesn't want Grievous and Anakin to meet, you know. So, this is going to be very interesting.
Council will send him on this mission. Palpatine deep down knew that this would never happen.
See, I mean, that literally what he just said. So, Palpatine does not want Anakin to be sent to fight Grievous.
As Anakin was tasked with spying on him, but it was more just to fuel Anakin's dark side fire. And Anakin knew this as well, so soon the two of them talked some more, and Palpatine told the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise. As the show eventually would come to an end, Anakin would be sitting in his speeder alone, a million emotions swirling through his mind. Padme needs to be saved, but the Jedi were no help. Maybe the dark side could save her, but Anakin shook his head. He knew he couldn't even consider this path. It wasn't the Jedi way. He needed to just get away from it all, away from Coruscant, back into the war, back into battle.
So is he gonna take the 501st with him, or is he just gonna go there alone? Because I'm sure if he, like, took Rex with him, Rex would be all for it, you know?
Anakin only had to focus on fighting when he was in battle. Everything else would get tucked away in his mind. So Anakin made a probably bad decision that he knew could eventually get him expelled from the Jedi Order. He flew to the Republic hangar and the barracks, and he found Oppo, telling him to prep the men.
Yo!
They are going to destroy
He's prepping Commander Oppo and the 501st to... Oh my god, this is gonna be epic. This is gonna be epic. Because if he went alone, he had to, like, sneak around and shit. But this is cool. And I forgot Rex is obviously on Mandalore with Ahsoka, so he can't really, you know, he's not available.
Grievous and end this war. Anakin didn't really mention the fact that he didn't ask the Jedi Council, but that was more on a need-to-know basis. The Jedi Temple was asleep or in meditation. Anakin convinced himself that there just wasn't time to ask them. So as the troops prepared for takeoff, Anakin went and said goodbye to Padme, assuring her that this would be the final battle of the war, and once he is back, he will save her. So he went back to the hangar, saw that everyone was ready to go, and half of the 501st took off for Utapau. The other half...
So the thing is, Grievous also, you know, since he's working for Palpatine, he would have known that, oh, the Jedi Council has now decided that they're sending, you know, an army to Utapau, so Grievous would be ready. But, you know, no one knows this. So Grievous is going to have an unexpected visit from Anakin. You know, Palpatine doesn't know about this, and the Jedi Council doesn't know about this. Like, wow.
Half was still on Mandalore with Ahsoka, and Anakin planned to speak to her very soon. The trip through hyperspace was full of anticipation. The 501st clones were all ready to end this war. though there was some strange feelings as the 501st wondered what would happen to them after the war. But that was a question for later. Today, Grievous would be taken down, and Anakin would speak to Ahsoka, asking her to bring Rex and the other half of the 501st to Utapau once Maul is captured. Ahsoka said she would do this, and she looked as if she had a bit more to say, but she ended the call with a small smile. And Anakin began prepping his men for the morning assault when he got a new transmission. The Jedi Temple was contacting him.
Shit.
Anakin sighed, then answered to see Windu and Kenobi staring sternly at him through a hologram. Obi-Wan said that the Republic hangar was missing all of Anakin's unit, and he was nowhere to be found. So, Anakin told him that Grievous was discovered. Windu snapped at Anakin, saying that he doesn't get to decide that. Anakin shrugged and said that it is too late. His men are ready for battle.
Bro,
Windu
just doesn't
shook his
care.
head, telling Anakin to contact them when it is done. He will be dealt with upon his return. And the call ended with Obi-Wan also shaking his head in disappointment. Anakin almost started to regret this decision. Almost. But it was time to go. So he walked through the hangar of the ship, giving orders to all of his men. And as soon as they emerged from hyperspace, countless Republic ships poured out of the hangars, led by Anakin in his Jedi starfighter. And in perfect formation, Anakin led his men down into the sinkhole, scanning for droids, and soon enough, the Republic forces had Grievous and his droids. Anakin leapt out of his ship as R2 flew it away, and he landed in front of Grievous as his clones jumped from their transports, lining up behind Anakin. And now Grievous turned to see young Skywalker. The droid general and Jedi general, the best fighters on either side, now faced each other. The clones and droids all readied their blasters, and Grievous pulled out 4 sabers, then ordered his droids to fire.
This is gonna be an epic
and
duel.
So, the final battle began. As Anakin and Grievous circled each other, blaster fire rang out from all around them. Anakin waited and waited for the perfect moment, then leapt forward with power. Grievous, spinning all 4 lightsabers, launched himself at Anakin as well, and the two fighters began to clash. Grievous swung each saber down on Anakin, trying to find a weakness in the young Jedi, but Anakin blocked every single strike without much issue. The two of them would move through the crumbling ruins and jagged terrain as clones and droids fell all around them. Explosions and firepower derailed the fight time and time again, but the fight did not relent. Anakin flipped over Grievous, his blade moving with insane speed, but Grievous's own defense was very strong. Grievous had heard from Dooku that Skywalker was very powerful, and Grievous knew that he'd killed Dooku, so Grievous was more focused than ever. His reptilian eyes glared at Anakin as the two locked sabers now, then clashed again and again, sparks flying off of the walls. Grievous grabbed a clone with his clawed foot, then threw it at Anakin.
Damn, that's brutal.
Anakin dodged, but then was kicked in the chest by Grievous, and Anakin skidded across the ground, his lightsaber clattering away, as he now stood at the edge of the cliff.
Oh,
Grievous
shit.
began to laugh, and was about to lunge forward with a lethal strike, but he was distracted as a new group of Republic ships emerged
Ahsoka
from
and
outer
Rex!
space.
Oh,
Anakin smiled
let's
to
go.
himself. Ahsoka was here, and as Grievous was distracted, Anakin pulled his saber back to him and began running at Grievous. The droid general was caught off guard, and Anakin cut off one of his hands, then sliced into the ground to cut into Grievous's leg. Grievous growled in anger, crawling on 3 hands towards Anakin, and Anakin switched to lightsaber form 1, which he wasn't too familiar with, but it was a form he knew Grievous would struggle with. He could have done it earlier, but he was too stubborn. Now he knew he had to give in
was too stubborn,
and used
wow.
his form. So as Grievous stood back up, Anakin moved in, slicing off another hand, pushing Grievous towards the ledge. And as Grievous was at the edge of the cliff, Anakin delivered a perfect set of moves, cutting off his final 2 hands, and Grievous screamed in anger. He stared at Anakin though and said, "So long, Jedi," then prepared to jump to his ship that was rising through the cavern.
Well, not
but
happening.
before Grievous could escape, his ship was blown to pieces as a Jedi starfighter flew through the air. Ahsoka leapt out of it, force-pushing Grievous towards Anakin.
Let's go.
And Anakin swung through Grievous, killing him instantly. Ahsoka landed as Rex and the other 501st half followed her, then poured into battle. Utapau was going to be won very soon. The droids were outnumbered, and Grievous was destroyed. Anakin and Ahsoka stood side by side, watching the men that they fought with for years go into what could be their final battle. And Ahsoka asked Anakin to come with her, back to her ship. She'd captured Maul, and he has some important information for him. Anakin contacted Rex and Oppo about this, then went with Ahsoka.
Oh,
While this was all
shit.
going on,
Oh, because Maul wanted to meet with Anakin because he knows that, Palpatine wants to do some stuff with Anakin. So this is going to be very interesting.
Commander Oppo contacted the Jedi and told them that Grievous was destroyed. And so, inside the temple, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Saesee Tiin, Aegon Kolar, and Kit Fisto decided that it was time to go to Palpatine.
Bro. So now it's the 4 original Jedi going to Palpatine plus Obi-Wan. Palpatine doesn't know anything about this. Oh shit, this is just getting better and better.
And force him to give up his emergency powers, whether by choice or by force. The Jedi would stand for his mockery of this democracy for no longer. So the group of 5 Jedi would travel to the Republic Executive Building, and upon their entering, a member of the Coruscant Guard would alert Palpatine that the Jedi were here to see him. This was not ideal for Palpatine. When Anakin left for Utapau without telling anyone, it took Palpatine by complete surprise. He didn't expect this. Anakin was going to be his apprentice, his heir to the Empire. But now the Jedi were here, and Palpatine had to make a choice. So he decided that, if Anakin can survive, he will be given a chance to join him. So Palpatine moved to his communicator, sending a message out to all of the clone communication channels, saying that the Jedi have betrayed him. Execute Order 66. And he then moved to a hidden doorway, just outside of his office, the doorway that would lead him to the industrial sector, if he wanted to go there, and he waited for the Jedi to arrive. So as Windu, Kenobi, Kolar, Tiin, and Fisto got to Palpatine's office, they could collectively feel a shift in the Force. Something has gone terribly wrong. And as they looked into Palpatine's office, clone troopers began emerging from the stairs and the elevator, pointing and firing at the Jedi without warning. This caught the Jedi off guard completely, and Aegon Kolar was immediately shot dead. Kit Fisto was hit in the shoulder, but the surviving 4 ignited their sabers, blocking the blaster fire. And from the hidden doorway, Darth Sidious let out a haunting scream, spinning towards the Jedi. He was aiming for Windu, but Windu was able to block him, but still, Sidious cut right through the chest of Windu just a bit. He also sliced right through Fisto and Saesee Tiin with...
No! Bro, oh no, Space Jesus fucked. Oh no. Oh shit.
Ease. Windu was caught off guard, but he now turned to face Sidious, was hit in the leg and in the back by blaster bolts, but Obi-Wan tried to cover him. Sidious blasted Force Lightning at both Jedi. Windu had to block it, but this allowed another blaster bolt to hit his leg.
Bro.
Windu fell to his knees, and Sidious swung up, killing the Jedi Master. He then held up his hand, and the clones stopped firing at Kenobi, and Sidious stared at Obi-Wan, his yellow eyes and frightening smile sending a chill down Kenobi's back, and Sidious moved in towards him. Aboard the Republic Venator above Utapau, Ahsoka brought Anakin to Maul's cell, then unlocked the restraint on Maul's mouth, allowing him to speak. Maul smiled slightly and said, "The Chosen One, at last we meet. Although I fear your place in his plans was not as important as I once thought, it appears the end has begun." And Anakin felt a cold chill run down his spine as well, as the Force felt darker than ever. Something terrible has happened. He asked Maul what he was talking about, and Maul told Anakin that he has long been groomed for his role as the next Sith apprentice. Moments later, all of the clones aboard this Venator ran down to Anakin, Ahsoka, and Maul. Anakin asked them what was going on, but they lifted their blasters and fired. Anakin and Ahsoka dove to opposite corners, and the clones fired at Maul, killing him. Anakin and Ahsoka ignited their sabers, blocking all of the blasts, then used a force push to knock these troopers out. They looked at each other. Both were speechless. Something was terribly wrong with the clones. Anakin tried to contact Rex, but got no response. One of the clones that he pushed was seemingly repeating the same phrase, and Anakin took his helmet off. The clone's eyes were darting around, and he was repeating, "Good soldiers follow orders," over and over again, until he finally passed out. It was the same thing that Tup did when his inhibitor chip malfunctioned. And Anakin wondered if this was a mass chip malfunction, or worse, someone was doing this to the clones. Dooku was dead, though, so that only left Palpatine, and that lined up with what Maul said about Anakin being groomed. So Anakin realized the Jedi were right about him. He told Ahsoka they have to get out of here. This is happening to all of the clones. The two ran through the ship, pushing away more clones coming at them, not killing any of them, and they soon reached the hangar. But as they did, the clones blew up each and every ship inside the hangar, cutting off the Jedi's escape. This explosion sent Anakin and Ahsoka flying back, and they began running to the escape pods now. and as they reached the pods, automatic ejection was beginning. The two of them were barely able to dive into the final pod, closing the door before it ejected down towards Utapau. Anakin took over the controls of the pod, guiding it as best he could, but it was not easy. It flew towards the surface, and Anakin did just enough to make the pod land directly in the water. Him and Ahsoka were injured from the crash, but they were alive, and they escaped from the pod, hiding under a cavern, catching their breath for a moment. They were two of the only surviving Jedi in the galaxy. In a matter of less than an hour, the light side of the Force was blanketed with darkness.
Sorry, what did he say? The two only ones? There's no way that's possible.
And now the two of them sat here in complete shock, unsure of what to do. Ahsoka was crying after seeing the clones basically turned into droids. She wanted to do something to help them, and Anakin tried to calm her, saying that, as Palpatine's personal representative, perhaps he will have the power to deactivate the chips once Palpatine is dealt with. And after some more time, the two of them would sneak up to the main level, climbing aboard a Republic gunship, then take off from a landing platform. They would be chased up by a group of clone fighters, but with Anakin piloting, they were able to escape and jump to hyperspace.
Good.
But luckily for the clones, they were able to see exactly which ship the Jedi stole, and Rex reported this information directly to Palpatine.
Wow.
And so, as Anakin and Ahsoka flew through hyperspace, they got a communication directly from the Chancellor. Anakin told Ahsoka to get out of sight, then answered the communication. Palpatine and Anakin now stared face to face, and Palpatine held a wicked smile. He told Anakin that it is not too late. He should come to Mustafar, find him, join him in his new empire as his Sith apprentice. But Anakin lifted his chin a bit and simply told Palpatine that he would come to Mustafar, but he would kill him for what he has done to the Jedi and to the clones. Palpatine laughed, then said we shall see, ending the call. Ahsoka would soon return, and Anakin said they were going to Mustafar. Something was way off with Palpatine.
Bro, you two are not beating Palpatine. You're not. You're not beating him, alright?
Besides the fact that he was now the Sith Emperor, there was something more. Anakin tried contacting Padme, then Obi-Wan. Nothing. And he set course for Mustafar, trying not to let his emotions overwhelm him. Upon finally arriving at the lava planet, Anakin would walk alone through the Mustafar platform and buildings. Ahsoka was still in the ship, waiting for a signal from Anakin. The two of them had a feeling this was some sort of trap. Palpatine wanted Anakin here for a reason, so Ahsoka would wait for her time. Anakin entered the communications building and saw the ground littered with bodies. All of the Separatist leaders were here, slain by a lightsaber. Echoes of the dark side could be felt, and Anakin stepped over Newt Gunray, Wat Tambor, Sandhill, and the others, soon emerging outside to see Palpatine. But behind Palpatine were two platforms, suspended over the lava. One of them had Padme, handcuffed, and the other had Obi-Wan handcuffed. And next to
No! That's fucking brutal, bro. Holy shit.
Palpatine were 10 of his royal guards, and Palpatine told Anakin it is time for him to make a choice. Anakin subtly tapped his comm, alert Ahsoka to basically sneak over here, and Anakin stared at Palpatine, asking what he wants. The Sith Lord told Anakin it's time to make a choice. In both choices, Padme and Obi-Wan will die, but Anakin must choose if he will die with them. So Palpatine gave Anakin two options. Either he pushed the button to send both Padme and Obi-Wan down into the lava himself, then swear himself to the Sith, letting go of everything he's loved for power, or he can choose to remain a Jedi and die with them. The choice is his. Anakin stared at Palpatine, then looked to Padme, then to Obi-Wan, and Anakin turned back to Palpatine, saying that he has won. Palpatine honestly didn't expect to hear this, but he allowed Anakin to move towards the controls. He looked out at Obi-Wan, then to Padme, then down below them, and below, on a small, rocky surface, Ahsoka was waiting.
Oh!
Anakin subtly
She's gonna catch him with the Force. That's okay.
nodded to her, then to Obi-Wan, then to Padme, and Anakin clicked the controls to drop them down into the lava. And Ahsoka caught both of them, pulling them to her, throwing Obi-Wan one of her lightsabers, and Palpatine watched as Ahsoka and Obi-Wan jumped up, engaging his royal guards, as Anakin flew at Palpatine, lightsaber ignited.
Let's go.
Palpatine pulled out his red blade angrily, determined to destroy Anakin, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka, Padme, anyone else who dares to get in his way. So he swung at Anakin, and the two of them clashed sabers, moving across the Mustafar bridge. Anakin was able to elbow Sidious in the face, then slice through the floor, forcing Sidious to flip over Anakin so he doesn't fall down to the lava. And now Obi-Wan and Ahsoka got to the other side of Sidious. He was surrounded, and the three of them moved in. Palpatine spun to defend himself from the three Jedi.
This is the best trio of the best chemistry together, so this is going to be interesting.
But as the duel went on, he knew he wouldn't be lasting for long. These three together could beat anyone, and Anakin soon sliced through Sidious's shoulder as Obi-Wan cut into his leg. Ahsoka was able to kick him to the edge, and as Sidious moved forward for one final attack, the three of them unleashed a collective force push, sending Sidious down into the lava.
Womp womp.
From here, the group, including Padme, would be able to return to Coruscant safely, finding Yoda with Bail Organa, and upon learning of Palpatine's death, Anakin would step up to the Senate as Palpatine's personal representative and expose all of his lies. The galaxy would find out they were all fooled, and they would reject this new empire, forcing a new election, where Mon Mothma would be elected as Chancellor. Anakin would be able to stop the clones from hunting the Jedi, due to his position, and the Republic would officially end the war and bring peace. As for the Jedi, they would go into hiding away from the Republic, with around 50 members finding the Jedi Order now on Lothal, where they would rebuild in the Hidden Plains for now. Luke and Leia would eventually join the group, but not until Anakin and Padme deemed them to be ready. And folks, that is our story for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was...
Honestly, that was a top tier what if. That was a very interesting, very well written story. Didn't go off point anywhere. Just very interesting, like many interesting kind of places and points in the story. I have to give this a 9. No, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. Not kidding. I'm giving this story a 10 out of 10. It deserves it. And yeah, that's my opinion on this. I mean, let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. I really, would like to know what you think about this what if. But I'm giving it a 10 out of 10, honestly.
That is it for this Star Wars What If reaction. If you did enjoy, make sure to subscribe to the Star Wars Galaxy and check out his original video. Links in the description of this video. He makes some awesome what ifs, and he definitely deserves you to subscribe. Now, I hope you subscribe to me as well if you enjoyed. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. Like the video, turn those notifications on, and follow my Twitter. Link down below in the description of this video. Also, comment down below what you thought about what I said about the what if. What you thought about this video and how I could improve these videos. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for watching. This is the way I made the force be with you. Till then, I will see you next time.
Hey, you didn't watch it? Well, check out this video on the left side of the screen, which is specifically recommended for you, or check out the playlist on the right of the screen, which contains similar videos to this one, made by me, of course. Hey, remember, subscribe.